There are hundreds of thousands of people on social media right now trying to grow a business. And I see so many of them making the same mistakes. They spend months on a website. They spend weeks or months designing a logo. They're forever tweaking their product offering. And then they wonder why nobody's buying it. It's like you're building a nice custom house in the middle of the woods, custom floors, imported fixtures. Every detail is perfect, but there's no road to the house. Nobody even knows it exists. I've been a web and graphic designer for 8 years. I've worked at a very high-end web design agency. We built some of the fanciest websites you will see on the internet. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need any of that. You need to build a road to get to your house in the first place. And it's way more simple than you think. It's really just 3 things, and I bet you're completely overcomplicating 2 of them. I'm going to show you exactly what they are, what you can skip, and how you can move fast so you can launch your business as fast as possible. So most people think they need a custom website to look professional. They'll even spend $3,000 to $5,000, sometimes even $10,000 on a professional web designer. That's crazy. And then they wait months and they convince themselves they can't launch their business until it's done. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of people on social media with simple stand stores making over 6 figures a year. Let me show you what I mean. So this looks great. Probably costs an arm and a leg. It took months to build, and it's what everyone thinks they need. It's a very fancy website with a bunch of stuff on it, and I don't think you need that at all. Take a look at this instead. It's a simple stand store, and I'll show it to you. I'll show you what it looks like on a phone. What people do with stand store is it takes literally 30 minutes to put product offerings on what is basically a link in bio page. And it's very simple. And I'm going to tell you why this works and why you might want to consider doing this, or where you're at in your business if you should consider doing this. The main difference here is that one person launched their business and the other person is waiting for their web designer to finish their website. And here's what most people don't realize. That fancy website is like the kitchen in your custom house that nobody knows exists. Nobody has any way to even get to it. You're obsessing over the countertops, the backsplash, the appliances, but nobody's coming over for dinner because there's no road to even get to your house. That person with the simple stand store, they built the road first, and now people are showing up. Their kitchen might be a little basic, but it works. Here's a simple framework to know if you should have a website or a landing page, which I'll talk about in a bit, or if you should use something like Stand Store. If you're selling something under $500, a course, a template, coaching calls, or an ebook, stuff like that, I don't think you need a website at all. You need a stand store, beacons, or Gumroad. Something with a landing page, email capture, and checkout built in. You can set it up in like literally 30 minutes and start selling immediately. I literally set this up in like 15 minutes, and it's incredible what Stand Store offers here. You can do coaching calls, courses, webinars, digital products, custom products. You can do even recurring memberships, which is crazy. It's just out of the box. You're going to get your business launched so much faster. Let me tell you why I think it's so important to get launched faster than actually having to build a website or a logo and do all the fancy stuff that you think you need. But if you're selling something that is a little more high ticket, say $1,000 or more, you probably want a simple landing page, not an entire website. Not because Stand Store can't handle the checkout. It can, but it's the price point. At that price point, people need a little more convincing to buy something. They need to see exactly what they're getting, who it's for, proof that it works. And a lot of people will tell you like these high ticket offers require sales calls. I don't think you should do that. I think it's a waste of time if you build your landing page the right way. If your landing page is clear enough, I think the right people will buy without getting on a sales call. But either way, you're not spending thousands of dollars on a web designer, and you're not waiting months to launch your business. You're doing it in a few days or maybe a few weeks. So what's the difference between a landing page and a website? A landing page serves one purpose. It is to communicate one single offer and to get somebody to buy one single offer. A website has many different pages with different links and different offers, and it can direct people in a million different ways, which would distract them from the one offer, the one thing you want them to buy. So I'm not saying you need a website. I'm saying you may need a landing page. And if you do decide you need a landing page, keep it very simple. You can use templates. You do not need to hire a designer to do this. Most of your time should go towards writing the copy that is above the fold on the website, which means when somebody lands on the landing page, it's the first text that they see. And even that, I don't want you to overthink it. Don't try to be clever. The copy on your landing page needs to answer 2 questions. What do you do and what do I get out of it? So let me show you an example of kind of a wireframe of what I think would be a great landing page. Okay, so when I land on this website, I want to see a headline that tells them exactly what you do and the promise you're making and be specific. And then some supporting copy. Right below that, there should be a 90-second video of you explaining your offer very, very, very simply with a buy now button right below it. You're going to think you need more than this to convert sales, but I'm going to explain why you don't. The more you actually try to explain, the more you're going to deter people. And you have to remember, by the time somebody lands on this page, they're kind of already sold if you're doing things right. They already have a general trust in you before they even get to this landing page. Now, let's talk about something else people get hung up on and I see this so often. People get hung up on their logo, and I think it's just absolutely crazy. You think you need a clever logo. You think you need to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars hiring a designer to design your logo. I've designed logos before. I am a designer. I worked in the design field. I'm telling you, you don't need to hire a designer. The only thing you need to worry about with your logo is to not look like this. The main goal with your logo is to not deter people, as you don't want to look illegitimate. And if you try to design your logo yourself, you run a very high risk of looking illegitimate. So I'm going to tell you the exact way I would recommend you design your logo yourself, and you're going to think this is not going to work. But trust me, if you try to do it yourself, it's going to look even worse. It's going to look bad. You're not a logo designer, okay? And you don't need to hire one either. Think of your logo like the curtains on that house that you built in the middle of nowhere. You don't need custom drapes. You just need something to make people think that the house is not abandoned. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick a nice font, something simple, something legible and readable, not some crazy cursive. Do not use these types of cursive fonts. Do not do this. You're going to type out your business name. And I know, like, you're probably thinking, dude, what? Just my name? Yes. Yes, that's your logo. Let me show you an example. Look how simple this is. Look how clean and professional this looks. I can read it. It's very simple. It doesn't look illegitimate. That's the entire point. You're not a designer, so you can't make something more fancy than this. You just don't want to look illegitimate. I've been a designer for 8 years. Just trust me on this. Nice font, business name, move on. So here's the part that most people get backwards. They build a website, they design a logo, they create a product, and then wonder why nobody's buying. And it's because nobody knows you exist. I've seen people spend a year building a course, they launch it, and they maybe sell $200 worth of courses. And that's because they never learned how to get attention. The entire point of this video is so you spend your time in the right way so that you can actually build a business and get sales. People think in order to launch a business, they have to get all of their packaging and materials together, which is their logo and their website, landing page, whatever, the place where you're going to sell something. And the reason I'm recommending you use Stand Store is because you can get up at 30 minutes and actually put all of your time and focus on the hardest part, which is learning marketing, learning content, learning how to get attention on social media platforms. Think about it. Think about how you found people online. You saw their content first. You saw a video or a post, something that made you trust them. And then maybe a few weeks or a few months later, you check out their landing page or their website or whatever link is in their bio, and you bought their thing. And you didn't find them because they had a nice logo or a nice website. You found them because their content showed up in your feed. Content is the road to your custom house that you built in the middle of nowhere. People need to find you. You can have the beautiful, most custom built house in the world, but if there's no road, nobody is stepping inside. Content and marketing is where 90% of your time should go. Pick a platform or two to start. I prefer TikTok. Your bio needs to be stupidly clear. Who do you serve and what is the problem that you solve? Do not try to get clever with it. And then you're going to start posting. You're going to post short form videos. You're going to get out your phone. You're going to look at that damn camera and start talking. Because here's the thing. Sometimes it takes months or even years to get traction. And it's all going to depend on how much volume you're willing to do and how much crap you're willing to eat, which means how many times are you willing to post with no results? You're going to have such little traffic to your bio, to whatever link is in your bio, that like you could literally skip everything else I said before this and just start learning how to make content. I think that would be completely valid. Here's what I'd recommend. Spend a little time working on your product in the background, maybe 5 to 10% of your available time. But the majority of your time, you're learning how to get attention. And notice how I didn't say you're posting on social media. That's obvious. You need to learn how to get attention on social media. Very different. I see so many content creators just posting, doing the same thing day after day. And how does the saying go? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Posting, no view. Posting, no views. Posting, no views. You need to post, look at it and say, what could I do better? And then post again. Look at your analytics. Where can I improve? What's this person doing? Why did that get so much views? Why are they getting so much attention? Reverse engineer other content creators' content. And this is what 90% of your time should be going towards because it's the most important. If you don't have any traffic, you're not going to be getting any sales anyways. If you're spending all your time building a product, but you don't know how to get anybody to see it, you're working completely backwards. And I know some of you watched this whole video and you're not going to do it. You're going to go back to picking out the countertops, adjusting the curtains, tweaking rooms in your house that nobody's going to see. You're going to keep building your mansion in the woods and wondering why nobody shows up. What I want you to do is stop decorating that house. And I want you to start building the road to get to the house, AKA learning how to make content online so you can get traffic to direct people to your products. The business owners that win are the ones who build a simple house, but they have a road that people can get to it. It doesn't need to be a big fancy house. That's why I'm recommending Stand Store instead of building a fancy website or a fancy logo. I actually want to show you something. I found this creator, Abigail. She has 105,000 followers. Look at this. There's no website. Look at this. All it is, there's not even a logo. It's just a picture of herself. Perfect. All of these offers, dude, I bet you she's making bank and she does not have a website. This is perfectly acceptable. She gets to spend time learning how to make content and developing her products. She's not getting hung up on fancy stuff that doesn't actually move the needle in your business. And I bet you she could probably at this point build landing pages and a website, and it would probably serve her well, but it's honestly still just not even needed. You build so much trust with people on social media through your content that they're just going to click the link in your bio and buy something. And this goes for memberships too. There are plenty of websites out there that let you build your membership container or your community container like School or Circle, where you don't need a website. You just use their platform. It's plug and play. You hook up your Stripe account to accept payments. The amount of tools out there that let you accelerate your business growth is wild. And the fact that you're not utilizing any of them is just absolutely crazy. So if you get anything from this video, coming from a web designer, someone who's worked in web design, I've charged people money for websites. And I'm telling you, you don't need to waste that money. I mean, I'm beating a dead horse here, but you need to learn how to post content to get traffic, to get sales. And later on, if you're making 40, 50 grand a month and you feel like splurging on a nice website, I feel like at that point, then go for it. And you know what? Screw it. I'll make a stand store and put the link in the description. If you want me to help you get your landing page and logo up and running exactly like I showed you in this video, I will do it for $500 and I'll get it turned around in 2 days for you. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the description of this video. And if you like content like this, if you like content about making money online, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, comment below. Let me know what your business is about. I'd love to hear from you. See you guys next time.